Hi, this is Holly with Presence Point, and we are here for another Shepherds in Action video. I'm sitting with Andre Dantzler. I first met Andre about 3 or 4 years ago in Chattanooga, and this is his world. This is like his digs here, right? We're
Welcome
here
to my world.
Yes, your world is awesome. And so there's this beautiful stuff behind us, looks like sheep and shepherd, and it's like so never going to be like this again in one of these videos. It's just amazing.
You never know.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We also share a board role on Youth for Christ USA board, so it's been fun to begin to get to know Andre that way as well, and just to find out your heart for the church and your heart for the world is just enormous.
Thanks.
So, same 3 questions we ask everybody.
Okay.
All right, where do you shepherd, Andre?
Man, everywhere it seems like.
I know.
And it feels like they're all pulling. But yeah, I mean, I'm a husband. I'm a dad. I'm a boss. I'm on boards and an elder at my church. And I mean, just I think a lot of places are taking a pull in my world for sure. Yeah.
And your age range of your children?
It's really normal. So we have a 26-year-old, a 19-year-old, and a 2.5-year-old.
It's totally normal.
It's totally normal. Actually, I've learned I have to say from the same wife. So
please.
That's a disclaimer that I've also had to give. Yeah. So, and then the next question people ask is was that a surprise? And of course, the answer is yes. So
a huge blessing.
What a surprise!
A huge surprise. Blessing, right?
Yeah, but a surprise. Yeah. And I think in that process, it was funny. I will say, like, when people ask me about that kind of experience, I thought Jennifer had some kind of cancer or something. Oh. So she had been complaining about being really tired and had this like list of symptoms. And she was she was going to the gynecologist just for her annual visit, and I was like, "Hey, you should tell them about all those symptoms that you're kind of feeling." Yeah. And as she did, the lady's typing it in and kind of turns and says, "I need you to." Come right back, and you're pregnant. And so I mean, when Jennifer told me that, I laughed, and then I cried, and
praise God, she's pregnant. And
she's not dying, but man, that's a as I thought I was leaving a key part of my, another chapter was kind of like stopping, and I'm an entrepreneur and I own my own company and I have clients all over the world, and so in my mind it was like, well, we're about done, and we can just live in France for a couple of months and go over here and do this, and I remember the next morning telling God why I thought. And before
for your
that,
life.
So I had a belief system that said, and I didn't know this, like this wasn't something I said out loud, but I had a belief system that said, if you're a good kid and you marry the girl, because my wife got pregnant while we were dating and in high school. So that's kind of the rewind of that. And so, but see, kids, you do the right thing, you marry the girl, you love her well, then there's this free prize inside. Kind of Christianity.
Wow.
And so I thought the free prize was, you'll be young. I'm almost 45. You'll travel the world.
Yeah.
You're a kid. Everything will be great. And instead, and then everything is great. But instead, it's such a super different path on that. But and so I realized in that moment I was selfish. I was thinking a lot about me and saying me and I, but I wouldn't have said I was a selfish person. Yeah. And so I think as a shepherd, with, I guess, the lowercase s, then I think in that scenario, like, at times you can feel like, no, I'm making it all about the sheep, but sometimes we can still be, making it about us. So I think part of my world and my life has been a continual dying to self, of just kind of cutting off and throwing away ego and self parts, and just kind of continuing to give. And some people ask, like, I'll frequently get questions like, are you tired, or are you, and it's like, no, I feel great, And I think this whole idea of self-love, and there's a lot of self-care, and that's obviously not wrong, like, you have to take care of yourself, right? But I think it's probably like 20% that or something. It's not 80, Right. We'll call it's a smaller amount. Do the right things, but really it's about everyone else, and the more we can get the focus off of us. I feel like that's what I'm trying to do every day, is just get the focus off of me and onto whatever needs to happen and serve I don't know. It's
well,
hard.
Well, you
it's not
think about it.
easy.
Even Jesus, right, in the Garden of Gethsemane said, Lord, if this cup can pass from me. Almost like
Yeah.
saying, Dad, I'd really rather not do this cross, nails thing.
Yeah, of course.
So if we could do something else, it'd be great. And his own death to self,
Yeah.
right? To even live in this crummy world
Yeah.
for 33-ish years and
Sure.
then die a tortured death. And I mean, you think about all that, you think he, as a shepherd with a capital S,
Yeah.
right, died to
Yeah,
self.
yeah. Yeah. So, but I think in addition to that, it's also about like coming alongside everybody. And so I probably am. So I always feeling like, am I serving the whole? If the person is a circle and there's a lot of different ingredients in
Yeah.
there, like how am I doing at serving them well? And I think the answer is I'm always feeling like, wish I could invest in them a little more or call a little more. And so I'm a tech guy who runs a tech company, who has a video studio.
Right.
But so I use tech a lot to see if I
Yeah.
can help me scale that.
Yeah.
So I send a lot of text messages and I'm an encourager. So I like to encourage and love people and so I try to spend a lot of time doing that. And I found, I just try to spend time each day calling, texting, and then I send a lot of video messages where I'll just do a quick video recording and send it to people. And so I've been trying to do that, and that's been, not that it's like, that's effective, and so, but, if somebody's trying to think of, like, what could I do, I would just say for me personally, I'm finding more and more, the more I can speak life into somebody, the more I receive life. And it's not about me, right? I'm not doing it for me, but I'm noticing that continues to bring energy into my world too, I guess is a way of looking at it.
Well, the next question was, how do you implement provision, protection, or presence in your life? And that's how you do it. And I think you said the video messages are often a birthday message, right?
Yeah.
So instead of just a quick text, happy birthday, or sending a GIF, it's like, hey, it's me, and I'm so excited it's your birthday. And woo, that's kind of cool.
Well, and I'm trying to take it a step further and say, here's what I see in you. Here's what I love in you. Here's what I love about you,
Yep.
So it's like trying to not just like, because I think it's like, the happy birthday, what we're actually celebrating is that you exist and have made an impact on my life. And so I'm trying to take that more without it being like a burden, like, oh no, I failed today. Because I'm not like A+ing it every day. Yeah. But I have realized like Facebook's this awesome tool that tells me everybody's birthday. And so it's like, well, if I have their cell phone number, instead of just shooting that over there, I'll just record a little like, hey, person, happy birthday, and here's why you're important to me, and this is a way you've made an impact in my life. I mean, how hard is that? Cool. It takes like 30 seconds, a minute. It's not like some super elaborate thing.
Super easy.
Well, it's easy, but it's easy enough that it can disappear. And I think sometimes things that are super easy are just they feel dissolvable because it's like, oh, I can do that again in 10 minutes. I have 20 minutes from now I can do that.
Then you don't do it.
Then you just don't do it. And so now I think this is a season in my life where I'm trying to just implement routine discipline of like, okay, this is something that's high value to me. I need to do this early in the day. It's always early in the day. Yeah. The later the day goes,
crazy
the more
things
poof.
happen, right?
Everything. Yeah.
So the last question, because you sort of answered the second one already, is what word of encouragement would you give to other shepherd leaders?
Well, it's interesting. So I work a lot with mostly people younger than me, but I also work with ministries, and a lot of them are kind of a combination, right? So in our software company side, we have this thing called Echo, and so ministries use it to have conversations with people about Jesus is basically the deal. And so with that, in that way, the way I'm encouraging them well is that I just listen well, and I kind of joke and say our secret formula as a company is we just ask our ministries like, hey, what do you wish you could do? And then we go and build it, and then they think we're really smart geniuses, right? And it's like all we did is just listen and hear your ideas well. But part two of that I think has been a secret ingredient of that is we've listened well and we've listened to multiples. And so, and then we've returned back the result to everyone. And so what I mean by that is instead of, I think it's easy for us to get really myopic and just be like, this is the thing that I'm focusing on, just this part. And I call them super ideas, where we listen to each ministry, hear their idea, amalgamate that into like, oh, that's a good idea, and that's a good idea, and let's smash that together into one super idea. So similarly, I think no matter what thing you're in, the more you can have a sphere of people that you're trying to help, whatever that is, right? So the more it's more than just one, because I think at times it can feel overwhelming, like, well, I just can't do this for everybody. But in reality, at least the way I'm doing my world is we're building a software thing and we build it once and then everybody gets all the things, right?
Yeah.
So you can't always scale things in that manner.
Right.
This is, may seem very technical the way I'm talking about it, but in the concept of this, it's hear the needs of the many and assimilate those and then try to help provide solutions to the many, right? So that's the way I've thought about that. And then for that younger crowd, I'm realizing that there's just the Instagram, whatever generation, right? So they're seeing all the highlight reel of everyone else's life, and they're comparing their moment while they're staring at their phone to that highlight reel of that awesome experience. And so they're really valuing like travel and experiences. And partly because, they see that things are not valuable, but partly because that's something they can show and demonstrate. And so what I'm doing with that generation is just helping them see like, hey, first of all, life is a long play. It's not a chess. It's chess. It's not checkers, right? So like when it comes to relationships with my children, it's checkers. It's not one move and then I'm done. It's like, man, this is a long play. And so similarly, helping them understand like, hey, you're 23. Just relax for a minute. It's not all having to be done. And this next, like they'll do something for a month and feel like it's the end. So I think my message to them has been twofold. One, it's going to take some time and that's okay. And number two, this is just kind of a funny thing. We as parents, as older parents with children that were born in the 1900s, we've learned that we also have a mission to this next generation of young parents. And so the way I sum this up is just, if you've ever been sick and you've Googled what you were sick with, it's like, oh no, I'm gonna die of cancer. It's I'm either have a stomach bug or stage 4 cancer, right? Yeah, and so these parents are super stressed out because they've gone to Google as their source of the answer. Yeah, and so we've realized, hey, we're here to help you relax. It's going to be okay. Yeah. Just breathe. Just love your kids well. And so, not that we're like perfect parents, but we've just seen this next generation is so stressed out right now. Yeah. And so we've just been trying to, I guess, speak peace into them. And
that word of encouragement to them, even the word of encouragement to the one-on-one examples you gave, or even the encouragement to the ministry that you're listening to. Yeah. Right? What do you need? And then being able to put it together. Yeah. So you're shepherding well in those situations, really laterally to those parents of other preschoolers, right? As well as almost shepherding up to clients.
Sure, right? Of course. Oh, yeah, very much so.
And then shepherding in your own life to other peers with the happy birthday messages. Sure. And then, of course, down to the little guy.
And that all sounds sweet, but I got to also add, I also am tasked with telling people truth, even if it's super hard to hear.
Stuff. In love.
In love.
Truth. Yeah.
But that doesn't make it more comfortable.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
You're right.
So just because I have a heart of love, if I'm telling you something that's really hard in your life,
it's still hard.
It's still just hard. Yeah. And so I lose people on that path, right? So there's an amount of just see you later. And then there's an amount of high attraction, right? Of people realizing like, hey, I can count on Andre to tell me truth.
The real story.
And I try to demonstrate, hey, I actually care, but I will tell you that. And I think people are scared of that because they're scared of not making everyone happy. And so my last little thing about this is I just have this little 3-slide presentation, and the first slide says, is God perfect? And everyone says, yes. And then the next slide says, does everyone love God? And the answer, of course, is
no.
Right. So if everyone doesn't love God, what makes you think everyone's going to love you? Right? And so once you realize, like, there's literally not a way to make everyone love you. If the perfect God of the universe can't do that, then I can't do that. And
it's giving this beautiful free will to us. It's a choice.
Yeah. But it's a freedom to realize, well, if everyone can't love me, then what I just need to do is be the best I can at loving others. But it also shouldn't keep me from being able to speak truth. And I think for the most part. It's unsolicited many times, but ultimately I've seen amazing fruit from that. Not because I'm right, but I think I'm willing to say what a lot of people aren't willing to say, and so then that becomes attractional. And so I would encourage people watching, if they are a leader and they've been kind of struggling with, like, should I say this or should I not? Maybe it's going to cause some strife. I think it's okay. And I think you should say it. And I think we're called to speak to that truth in love. It's that marriage, that Venn diagram of those two things. It's not easy, but the end result, I think, is really powerful. And I think it's world-changing to do that.
Absolutely. Wow, there was a lot
Oh my
there.
goodness, there's a lot of words.
There. So there's a lot of words, but there was a lot of concepts that I'm thinking, as I'm looking at the camera, I'm thinking, how many things, I hope people are taking notes, they're probably going to rewind, because there's so many little snippets in there that are enormously important to us all as we shepherd. From speaking the truth in love to the presence of a birthday message, to understanding that even God, who's perfect, not everybody loves him, right? And so it's there's a beauty in so much of what your message is. So thank you, first of all, for sharing. Thank you for taking the time. I'm going to say to the camera, thank you to this guy for this amazing day we spent here. You don't even know how you've blessed Doug, and you blessed me, and I think the whole world, maybe, right, through Right Now Media and what we're doing. So we greatly appreciate it, really, with all our hearts.
Well, that's the power, and I know you just ended, but that's the power of doing this, is you just replicated yourself, right? So we took this moment in time, and we just packaged it up, and now it can work for you at 2 a.m., and it can work for you next week and next year. This can just keep working, and I think, when we talk about shepherding well, that's what you're doing well, is you're taking that time and you're putting it in a place where then it can just be experienced over and over. It can work for you while you're asleep, while you're doing another thing, it can work for you. So it's a very powerful tool. Thanks for taking the time to do it.
And it's working for the Father in this one, right? So it's sweet to multiply the message. So thank you for joining us. There's so much there. Go back and watch again, maybe 2 or 3 times with your notepad. Journal it. It's awesome. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for just taking a few minutes to say, what are other shepherds doing and how could it speak into my life? So we love you, we pray for you, and we just pray deeply that you'll live into your calling today. Thanks so much for joining us. Bye.